Cheers.
Okay, the ABC has had a terrible month, and that's despite receiving record funding of $1.1 billion every year. It was announced in the recent federal budget. That figure's guaranteed for 5 years as part of their, quote, commitment to a more informed, connected and protected Australia. Protected from the truth, perhaps. Anyway, if the past few weeks are any guide, the ABC is failing on each of these fronts because all we're seeing right now is a messy trail of staff, of program and media management disasters. We're here to discuss the ABC's woes. With no glee at all is former MP Nicolle Flint with her usual hidden agenda segment. Contain your glee at the pain of the ABC, Nicolle, but thanks for joining me. It started with this terrible results of the terrible coverage of King Charles III's coronation. Drew 1,800 complaints. A lot of them were dismissed for, whatever reasons, but the Ombudsman apparently found nothing to see here, no breach of editorial standards. How is that actually possible? 1,800 complaints.
Cory, I don't know, because 1,800 viewers took the time and the trouble to contact the ABC to say just one segment, 45 minutes of coverage, was appallingly bad. That is somewhat of a record even for the ABC. And what they said, these are the words they used. They said, and this is coming from the Ombudsman's report, the segment was unbalanced, biased, disrespectful, inappropriate, offensive, anti-monarchist and poorly timed. And yet the Ombudsman has said that the segment didn't breach their standards of impartiality. It's just an extraordinary judgment. And Cory, what it says to me is that this fancy new Ombudsman, with goodness knows how many staff and goodness knows at what cost, is no better than the old complaint system to which you and I have been subjected many times and had most of our complaints rejected. So why on earth did they have the review? Why on earth have they introduced new rules? Why on earth do they have these new staff and positions if the outcome is going to be the same?
It looks like it is the complaint system of old the results are always going to be the same. How are we going to reform the ABC? I mean, what can we do about it? Successive governments have ignored it. It's like this cabal of collectivists are running the show, and editorial standards, decency and truth, I have to say, and fairness are out the window.
Yeah, that's right. Look, I think this coronation issue has really exposed how bad things have become at the ABC, and it has been really reassuring to see the commercial media as a whole hold the ABC to account for once. Cory, I think we need to use this and the new Ombudsman to really build a platform with the public to actually get the change we need. Because when you read it's a very short report, it's 6 pages, the Ombudsman's report on the coronation, you realise how broken the system is. The actual issue, the reason that viewers were complaining is because the ABC editorial team decided to mix what should have been a news and reporting event with some very strong opinion. And this is the essence of the problem with the ABC now.
They can't divorce themselves from news and opinion, and all their opinions are collectivist left-wing based. What I found is staggering was the ABC boss this week tried to blame News Corp, right? Yes. That's the owner of this network, right? Yep. He tried to blame News Corp for the problems, but Stan Grant himself, the aggrieved party here apparently, and when he said he was taking a leave of absence, cited a lack of support from ABC management. And so it seems to be the problem here is ABC management are completely deficient, devoid of any judgment, and they don't want to be held accountable. In fact, there's no one to hold them to account.
Yep, precisely. They're not supporting their staff. One of their most senior journalists, Stan Grant, has taken a 2-month leave of absence, which is pretty extraordinary for any business. And they are mixing news and opinion, and the viewers are not happy about it. I don't think the journalists are happy about it. I think Stan Grant was put in a really difficult position ultimately by having to provide opinion when it was actually just a factual event that should have just been recorded as part of history. If you want to have the debate about whether or not we should have a monarchy and the impact of the monarchy and British settlement on Australia, do it in a Q&A program.
I was going to raise Q&A though, because that's an opinion program for the panellists, right? But of course it became, under Stan Grant, it became the opinion of Stan Grant, and he was kicking people out who he disagreed with on the show. The ratings were plummeting. I mean, I think that's why Stan's taken a leave of absence, quite frankly, because he was performing so badly and found it very difficult to manage. But again, it's management that didn't shape the culture there, isn't it?
That's right. But you said, what can we do? Look, it's really up to our federal members of parliament to actually bring the ABC back to what it should be, which is factual news delivery. I don't think there is any place for opinion on the ABC because we know it's only one form of opinion, which is the hard left.
Yeah, if only we had you in the federal parliament, Nicolle Flint. Oh, what a different outcome it might have been.